Hello everyone, welcome back to Make It Clever. My name is Chad Bradle, and today I'd like to show you the new head design I made for the camera mounting bracket that attaches to your CR-10 that you saw in a previous video. And here it is, attached to my original GoPro for demonstration purposes. Now, what makes this extra special is that it has a 1/4 thread on it. Now, in order to make this, you will see when I take this little rubbery piece off here to add some grip, that essentially you have the 1/4 threaded bolt, which is 1 inch long, and it has a Phillips head on the end. Also, it has a standard 1/4 nut right in the center, as you can see, and also on the inside, before you put the bolt through, it has a lock washer, so you know it doesn't come undone. Now, in order to get this nut in here, you may need to use some channel locks or something to kind of squeeze it in, because it's a very tight fit, but that's not necessarily required. If you put the bolt through and you get it through the end and then you thread the nut on and you guide it properly, you should be able to squeeze the nut down and into this, and it'll work just fine. Now, when you go to print this, I can tell you that on this one, the nut, let me show you a little clearer here, but the nut actually on this one sticks a little bit, so there's a little bit of a gap right here. And I think that's because when I printed this, I printed it with no supports. Now, the reason I'm just pointing that out, and it's not a reason at all, is that when I printed it with no supports, it added a little extra stringing on the inside of this, so it made it a little thicker so it doesn't push quite down all the way. But it's still alright, still threads on quite well. Now, in my previous video, as I stated, this is a 25mm diameter. Now, the whole idea behind this bracket is that anyone can design their own head mount that will attach to this. So if they wanted to make a custom head mount for a particular phone or other device, they can do that. Now, what makes this great is obviously for probably a lot of people's purposes, they would attach their GoPro and then they can just set it right on there, and using the pivot up and down, I can pivot it, tighten it down, you're good to go. Now, what's also neat about this bracket, as I stated in the previous video, but I don't think I actually demonstrated it, is that you can actually lock it in right above. And then you can just point it right down at your prints. Now, of course, you'd have to make sure you're not printing something excessively tall, because it'll only be able to go up so high until it actually runs into this. So that's just something to be aware of. But it could be a really cool perspective for getting a capture. Now, because of this adapter, I feel like we could go a little farther with this. So you could thread this into really any camera, but it just end up pointing straight. So you'd probably need a tripod head, and then you could use any camera, which I happen to have a tripod head right here. Just thread that right in there, just like that. Now I can attach any camera I want to this thing. I just happen to have a camcorder ready just for demonstration. Yeah, simple as that. You can really attach any camera you want to your Creality CR-10. Now, You know, it depends on if your camera's set up for time lapse or if you're just really looking to shoot a bunch of straight video. That's up to you. But it's good to have options, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave a link down below to the Thingiverse file if you'd like to check that out and download it. And if you're so gracious, you know, you could tip me. You know what I mean? That would be pretty swell also. But that's all I got for this video and today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let all your friends and pals know, and maybe your pets, because, you know, pets are people too. And I hope you like this video. My name's Chad. And remember, don't just make anything, make it clever. See you.